is everyone doing on this third, July 3rd? I bet you all look like she had hair 1 minute, now she doesn't have hair. How's everyone doing? Come on in, chosen one. I'm out here walking in the community. I'm out here walking in the community. Come on in. Come on in, chosen one. I have a message for you. You know, when I get out here and go to walking, it seems like I get all my downloads out here walking. I'm so proud of my hair. My hair has grown so much. I was trying to get it to grow out before I start my journey. I'm supposed to be starting a journey with my hair journey. I'll let you all see it. It'll be a surprise. But let me know if you can hear me when you come in. Let me know. Put a thumbs up. Someone, let me know. Let me know if I'm clear. I'm always representing the brand, a responsibility top. Always representing when I come out walking. Always wear my merch. Y'all support the online store, please. Can you all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I took out my hello, I'm walking. I don't see who that is. Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, thank you. I think the YouTube video is a little delayed, actually, from me speaking. But I just have this message. You know, I always come out here in nature. I love nature. It's like I get my superpowers, like Wonder Woman. Bestow unto me my superpowers. I'm silly, so y'all have to excuse me. It's like I stop, like, put my hand up, and all my superpowers come down. What I want to come talk to you all about is the thing, just how I'm acting here, you know, being uniquely you, right? There is power in being yourself. You know, sometimes, you know, we get to where we allow people to make us become who we're not, or we would try to be who other people want us to be. And that doesn't serve us at all as chosen ones. I've done it, right? And I lived my life like that for a long time, you know, trying to be and put on and be who somebody else want me to be because I want to please them. That's where that people pleasing spirit come in at. And I'm here to tell you, you have to be uniquely you. You have to be how God designed you. You have to be who God made you to be. Your personality is for you. Your personality, the characteristics that you have, how silly you are, how talkative you are, how bold you are, however you are, as long as it's not rude or hurting or harming anyone else, guess what? That is how you are. You can't help that. So it is okay to be uniquely you. It is okay to be who God designed you to be. If you're weird, be weird. You know, people think you're weird when you like certain music. When you're not, you know, people think you're weird when you're not culturally, you know, in tune. Well, you're not culturally in tune because you got some people is not culturally in tune. They don't know cultural stuff. They don't know. They didn't grow up being, you know, in the culture. They didn't grow up. So people tend to, you know, look down on people who have not grown up how they grew up or who can't relate to them because, you know, they have the skin color that they have. What I've learned to understand, everybody didn't have to grow up struggling. Everybody didn't have to didn't grow up how I grew up. So I shouldn't assume, right? I shouldn't assume that people grew up how I grew up because they look like me. Because everybody didn't have to grow up in the struggle who look like me. And it's okay if they had a different life, you know? You don't have to make them feel bad because they have a different life. They had a different upbringing. They're who they are. They don't see the world how I see the world. And that is okay. You have to respect that. People don't like to respect who you are. People don't like to respect that you didn't have to grow up in the struggle. People don't like that. People don't respect that. Like it's okay. If you were brought up privileged, that's not your fault. That's not your problem. Your parents, created that life for you. And it's okay. It's okay that you don't relate. It's okay that you don't know what it is to struggle, right? So, but what I wanted to come talk to you about is just being uniquely you, being who God made you to be. Don't try to change who you are because people don't accept you. People don't accept your weirdness. People don't accept that you're different. And you got a lot of people that don't know how to accept others because of their difference, because they don't think like them, right? Like that's the craziest thing for you not to like someone because they don't think like you. They don't have the same warped thinking as someone else, or they don't believe like someone else. People have a right to think and be individuals. You get a lot of this in families when you got a lot of this in families when you no longer go along. Now, respect is due to anyone. Let's clarify that. I'm not talking about disrespect here. I'm talking about in families when you have people who decide not to do, like, say for instance, you have a family of doctors and they want you to become a doctor, but you don't want to become a doctor. You want to become an artist. You want to become a YouTuber. The family sometimes will get mad at you because you want to do something different. You want to be unique. You don't want to do what everybody else has done. You want to make your own path. You want to create your own way. And that's an example. And people will get mad at you. People will start feeling like you think you're better, or they'll start thinking like, okay, you don't want to be like us because you don't want to go and follow the same tradition, or the same. You don't want to do the same thing they're doing. They'll go to thinking that you know you're acting funny or you are rebelling. Well, they want to make you feel like you're rebelling from the system. And the only thing you're trying to do is be an individual. You're trying to come into your own and understand your own identity, you know, and that you don't want to do and be what mama want me to be. I don't want to choose a career that's going to make everybody else happy. I want to choose something that's going to make me happy, right? Yes, sometimes people need guidance, but at the same time, you have to let people figure out life on their own. Let them be themselves. That's what's wrong with a lot of people. We don't know how to let people be themselves, right? And I'm not talking about disrespect, because disrespect is disrespect. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about letting people learn and letting people be who they are while you're not trying to change people and make people conform to who you want them to be. Your children are not going to be who you want them to be. Yes, you want them to be upstanding citizens. You want them to be good standing citizens. You want them to be contributing citizens to society. But at the same time, they have to live their own life. They're going to do what they want to do, and you have to be okay with that. Your job as a mother is to make sure you do your part. You raise them and you take care of them until they get to the point to where they want to make their own decision, and that's fine. Same thing with your parents. Some of y'all parents, y'all trying to be a certain way because you want your children to look at you a certain way. You want people to look at you a certain way. You know darn well you don't want to do what you're doing, but you're doing it because someone else, or you want people to see you in a certain light, and you're so unhappy. You're so unhappy. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do what you're doing because it's not even you. It's not even you. You just like the look of what you're doing. You like the look of what you're doing. You're not being your authentic self. You want to do something that's just as crazy, and people don't understand. And people will be like, "Now you're crazy for leaving your job to go become a crocheter or something. Yeah, it's like we're all in this little fake bubble, and it's like we're all trying to please somebody else. We're all trying to make other people happy. We're all trying to do things to bring joy to other people, all while we're, neglecting our needs and wants. We're not being authentic. Yes, we're not being authentic. Some of us have been wives and mothers for so long, we don't even know how to operate outside of that. We don't even know how to operate outside of being a wife and a mother. You don't have no other life, no other ambitions, no nothing outside of being a wife and a mother. Then when them kids grow up and become adults and they want to live their own life, you're sitting back and you're upset with them and you're mad because you dedicated your life to your children and now they want to live their life and you don't want them to go because you have dedicated your life to them. You feel like your children owe you now, and your children don't owe you. Your job is to make sure that you raise them to, to be productive citizens. They can get a job on their own. They're functioning. They know how to do things on their own. They know right from wrong. They know the consequences of the decisions that they make. That's your job. Your job is not to control their every move after they become adults. That's not your job. And see, some mothers lose their identities in being a wife and being a mother, and they don't have any substance outside of being a wife and a mother. And there's nothing wrong with it because there's a season for everything. There is a season, but you have to know when your season is up. If you have young children, yes, that's your season of taking care of your young babies. But you have to know when your season is up. You have to know when your season is up for up from being there and coddling your children. You have to know. You have to know because you can get stuck in that mommy mode, and you can get stuck in always always doing things till you go to handicap your children, and then they don't know how to do anything without you. They become codependent. You have to let them make their mistakes. This is the time to let go of the reins, to let go of you know, loosen the chain on them. Let them make their mistakes. Let them go through life. Let them go through life, and you find out who you are. You identify who you are. You don't lost yourself, and that's why so many. I say that I dare to say that's why so many women are angry. So many women are angry because they've wasted and they've dedicated and they've put in so much time investing in their children and in their spouses. And there's nothing wrong. Don't take and remix my my video as if I'm saying not be there. No, because that's important. That's important. It's important for you to be there for your children. But that's not all you. That's not all to you. That's not the only thing that you should. That's not your only identity because you have to think about when them kids get grown. What are you going to do when they go off to college and they don't want to deal with you? When they become adults and they're tired of mom every day asking how they're doing and what they're doing. Cause them kids, they go through their little process. They go through their breaking away. They go through it just like we went through it. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay. You have to find peace. You have to find peace in that because they got to figure out life and they want to live their own life. But some parents get mad at their children and want to make their children feel like their children owe them their life. No, that's all my children. They don't owe me their life. I did my part. I did my part, and nobody can say I didn't do my part. You're going to have to live. They got to live their lives. My job is not to keep them and smother them and control them. Once they become adults, my job is to guide them, tell them the truth, and that's that. But you, as a mother, you as an individual, what do you like? What do you like? What is your favorite color? What do you like to eat? What do you like to do? Where do you like to go? What brings you joy? What brings you happiness? Have you ever asked yourself those questions? Right? Have you ever asked yourself those questions? What are your boundaries? What are your healthy boundaries? Do you have healthy boundaries? That's the question. Do you have healthy boundaries? Do you have any boundaries? Not even healthy boundaries. Do you have boundaries? What can people do and what can they not do in your life? What will you tolerate? What won't you tolerate? Do you know yourself on that level? Are you too concerned about telling people no? Are you concerned when you tell people no how they're going to feel? If you don't want to do something, do you just not do it, or you got to think it through? You got to pray about it. You got to say, you know what? I hope they don't be mad. You go through all these things. You go through all these things. That's what I mean by being uniquely you. Knowing, you got to know yourself. Know yourself. And it's okay. Everybody's not going to agree with you. Everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to like how you move. They're not going to like how you speak. It's always going to be something. But are you going to allow how people feel about you to stop you from navigating in the world? Stop you from being free? Stop you from doing those things you want to do? Who has control over you and why? This is the time, you know, to do a lot of soul searching. A lot of soul searching. Like a lot of times we don't even reflect. That's why I talk about healing so much, because a lot of times we don't reflect on our day. That's how some people could go years. This is the reason relationships can last for so long. They can last for so long, and then finally it just ends, and people like, that's a lot of time invested. You know why that happens? People just go through the motions. They go through the motions. They never reflect. They never come to the table together. They never do a health check up on the relationship to see, what's working and what's not working. You got some people willing to change and some people not willing to change. So, you invest so much time in a relationship, but then all of a sudden, when people decide to finally reflect and finally do a self check, and they say, you know what, this is not working. I don't care how many years I put in it, this is not working, right? That's when people decide to walk away because they realize the relationship may have been one sided, or one person may have been giving their all and the other person just coasting, and they don't feel like nothing needs to be improved because they don't want to change. This is when you reflect, this is when people wake up and walk away. That's why people, I believe, sometimes don't want to reflect. I believe they don't want to stop. They want to keep going through the motions. They want to keep ignoring things because if they face the truth, they know they'll have to walk away from some situations. They know some situations are over. They know they'll have to let go of some people. They know they'll have to, give up on some people. Yes, and we don't want to do that. No, we don't want to do it because we are comfortable. We get comfortable in our dysfunction. We get comfortable in our dysfunction. We don't want to do the hard work. And it's hard. It's very hard. Yes, it is. It's hard. But when you don't know who you are, that's what happens. When you're not reflecting, when you're not doing the work on you, when you're not being authentic, that's what happens. When you're not being authentic, you deal with certain things. You try to become all things to all people. You try to please people. People get to, when you when you're not healed, people know how to trigger your emotions and get you to do what they want you to do. Yes, it happens every day. This is why you have to know who you are. You have to discover who you are and be okay and realize that you can't please everybody. You can't be who people, because people have this, sometimes people have these this idea of who you are in their head. And if you don't meet their expectations in their head, they're, you're a bad person. You're a bad person because you haven't met their expectations they put in their head that they put on you, right? You're a bad mother because, or a bad anything because they got a expectation of you that they put on you that you don't know that they put on you. But because you don't follow that expectation, now you're a bad person. See, that's what I'm saying. People do this type of stuff. That's why you have to know who you are. That's why I say you have to do and be who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, people are going to be able to, have you swaying and doing and becoming and just going out of your way to please them and doing all kind of stuff. They're going to be able to use you to their benefits while you get no benefits. You're just sacrificing. You're not benefiting. You become a sacrificial lamb because you're doing everything they want you to do. You're doing everything that they've manipulated you to do. You're not getting no benefit out of that. You're not doing it. You're not getting it because you're not doing that because you really want to do it. You're doing it because that's what makes them happy. They have manipulated you to do what it is they want you to do. Yes, yes. So this is why you have to know who you are. You do things that going to please you. You serve people how you want to serve, not how they want you to serve. You serve them based on how God is putting in you to serve. hmm But that's what I want to talk to you all about. I didn't want to be here long. I'm going to the gym. I got to finish working out. But that's what I wanted to come. You're welcome. I can't see too much. You're welcome. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. But you're welcome. The last comment here. You're so welcome. But I just wanted to come talk to you all about that. I wish I was able to see the names because the sun is so bright, even with the shades on. The sun still is bright. So I'm going to the gym to finish working out my 30 minutes so I could, you know, go wash my hair. I got my hair taken out. I took my locks out and my hair has grown. My hair was so short. If you guys saw me before, my hair has grown since I put the locks in, those extensions. But I'm getting ready to go back and I'm trying to see who. Okay, I'm getting ready to go back so I go to the gym and finish my leg workouts and do my arm workouts. So y'all be blessed, okay?